And hello, everyone, and welcome to this weekly broadcast of the heart, our weekly heart stream, an invitation to come together and unify our hearts, regardless of where you are in the world, coming together in the same name and nature of love so that we can create a greater expanded field of energy that will allow us not only to feel more energized, calmer, more connected, but also use this time also to radiate our love and our joy out to the world. I'm your host, Gabriel Gonsalves, and I want to welcome those of you who have been here since early. You might not know this, but before I go live, I actually have the opportunity to read your comments and feel excited about all of you showing up. So hello Wanda, hello Ellen, buenos dias para ti. You're still on the East Coast, so for you just now it's PM time for you, right? Lunchtime. Hello Marilyn, hello Jennifer, hello Roger, Cindy, Irish, hello Isabel. My goodness, all the way out in humid, hot LA. I remember it's very rare though that Los Angeles and that area is humid. In fact, it's one of the reasons why I loved Los Angeles so much, because it was very dry. Here, the south of Spain is quite dry as well. Hello, Mariette in South Africa, where they are experiencing the complete opposite. They're experiencing, as Mariette would say, lekker, cold weather. Baya cold. Very, 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 very cold. Hello, Geraldine. Welcome from Limerick, Ireland. What's the weather like? I have some clients and students in the UK, and for the past few days, they've been hanging out at the beach because apparently they're getting something very, very, very rare and unusual in that part of the world, which is actually sunny days. And so that's wonderful. We need it. We need the sun, and we need the cool weather. Veronica says it's very hot there in Los Angeles. Yeah, I remember those days. My goodness. I remember my little flat in, when I first moved to LA, I got one of those little studios, apartments on, what was it called? Washington Boulevard, I think it was. No, sorry, Vermont Boulevard in Los Feliz, right across from the old Los Feliz Theater. I'm not sure if that theater is still there. But I remember it was one of those very, very, very old Hollywood buildings that used to be a hotel. That's why the studios were so tiny. And I remember there was no air conditioning, so you had to put one of those fans that fit right in the windows. I'd never seen anything like that before I moved to LA. And did that help? Well, a little bit. I could barely feel it. I think it helped. I used to use it, I think, more than anything to get the hot air out. Hello, everybody. Those of you who are joining us right now, welcome. It is the 21st of July. Can you believe it already? Seems like we were just celebrating the summer solstice just a few days ago. Hello, Tony. Welcome. 39 here in Shropshire. I hope I pronounced that well. Yeah, Ireland is roasting too. Okay, great. Wonderful. Hello, Lila. Veronica Camargo, thank you for your beautiful message that you left during the past 10-year anniversary. Thank you also, those of you who showed up for our little celebration. In case you missed it, I was celebrating 10 years since I decided to become a professional coach and launch my my coaching business and the academy. And it also coincided with Mandela Day, so I got to share a song, Ubuntu, that I wrote when I was living in South Africa. Isabel says she lived in Los Feliz back in the 80s. Imagine that. Well, I lived in Los Feliz when in, just 2000. I think I lived there from 2000 to 2007 when I left LA. So 7 years, that was home. What I loved about that part of town is that it's right at the foot of Griffith Park and the Griffith Observatory. And so that was my main workout space. Wherever I go in the world, I just need to be somewhere near nature. It's one of the things I also like about here, Granada. We have this beautiful Sierra Nevada, of course, but here also, the city has this beautiful mountain range around it as well, where the Sacral mountains are, and it's really beautiful. And then Staten Island in New York. Beautiful. Hello, Denise. Welcome. The reason I'm giggling when I heard when I read Staten Island is because I have some nutty experiences from my teenage years. I went to prep school in Connecticut, so I had a lot of friends that lived in Staten Island, and so summer break was a invitation to go out and be nutty. All right, so a few announcements before we dive into our core topic today. If you recall, we are exploring the healing of our 7 chakras, and I've been dedicating 2 weeks to each one of the lower chakras. And so last week and the previous one, we focused on the root chakra. And first we looked at the physical and mental aspect of it. And then last week we did the emotional, spiritual part. And we're going to do the exact same thing with the next chakra, the sacral chakra, today. Focusing again on the physical, mental aspect of it. So then next week we can take a deeper dive into the emotional, spiritual aspect of healing that chakra. But before, let me share with you just a few announcements I want to make. Opening the Heart Weekend seminars coming up on the weekend of August 7th to the 8th. If you notice, I moved it a couple of weeks out, primarily because I have a friend visiting from the US, and I'm going to be doing some traveling starting this weekend. And so that is happening in 2 weeks' time, pretty much. So it's an invitation for anybody that wants to heal their heart and remove emotional, energetic blocks that are keeping you from welcoming greater love. This weekend seminar is for you. It's primarily an emotional healing seminar. Then starting in October, the Academy starts a new cycle with our 2 flagship training programs, the shorter 3-month Heart Warrior training program, that it's basically an invitation to learn the foundational practices, and it has a strong emphasis on emotional self-mastery and shadow reintegration using the power of your heart. And then just a couple of days later, the 9-month Heart Leadership Training Program, which is the certified yearly training that I do on transformational leadership and heart intelligence coaching, primarily designed for anyone who is a wellness practitioner, spiritually based mentor, or a conscious business professional who wants to take their leadership coaching skills to a whole next level and basically wants to build a practice that is in greater alignment with who they really are. Okay, so I will be talking a little bit more about that over the next few weeks. And if you want to get more information about those programs, or register or schedule time with me so that I can answer any questions you may have about them, please visit my website, gabrielgonsalves.com, okay, where you can go to either to the training tab or the upcoming events tab to learn more about the upcoming retreat. All right. Chakras. How many chakras do we have? Well, as far as the eye can see, because depending on the tradition, depending on the school and the philosophy and the teacher, the guru, you can basically have anywhere from 3 chakras. That's probably the least number of chakras you can count, all the way up to 21 and possibly even more. Okay, but we're focusing on the key 7 that are normally part of most schools. Chakra, again, it's Sanskrit for wheel, and it's in essence a wheel of energy that are an alignment, right through the spine. The first chakra that we spoke about last week and the previous week was our root chakra, which is in essence the chakra that represents our survival, stability, grounding. Okay, just like the root of a tree. And I spoke about how we could look at these chakras as how a tree develops and grows over time, right? Our roots being the very first thing that develops. And all the chakras, by the way, they're present when we're born. Okay, just like our brain is present by the time we're born, but it's underdeveloped. So these chakras are awakened as greater energy flows through them, and then they mature. And there's a natural progression in which this normally happens. And I always like to caution people who want to do some kind of a process to accelerate the rising of the Kundalini or the awakening of all these chakras, because it can actually backfire on you. It can actually result on or in imbalances at this level of the chakras. And so you want to allow this process to flow naturally. The root chakra is the very first one that becomes active and develops during the first 5 years of your life. Right after that one is developed, then obviously the next one, the sacral chakra, is the next one then that becomes active. It derives its name from the word sacred. Sacral means sacred. And it is, in essence, sacred because that is where you begin to then see now sexuality, sensuality is really the chakra in which then the flow of life, movement, sensory pleasure, joy, creativity, intimacy, connection begins to flourish and awaken. So think of it as a seed first lays down the roots in the ground and then kind of say like, okay, I can make my way here. And this is kind of like where I'm going to live. And this is where I'm going to feel safe and feel secure and feel worthy and feel confident because I like this spot. Then the little trunk emerges. Right. And so think of it, this little thing is now coming out and it wants to experience the air, the elements. And that's what sensuality in essence means. There's a distinction between sexuality and sensuality. Sensuality is basically the joy of being alive and experiencing life through our physical senses. So anything that you can do that involves movement, flexibility, and flow will help you energize and activate and even heal the sacral chakra. All right, movement, flexibility, flow, touch, pleasure, joy, activating also creativity, and the creativity that arises out of this chakra really comes out of the sacred principles of masculine and feminine coming in together that basically give sense to creativity. That's why we have this is the chakra that is normally associated with sexuality and reproduction, right? Giving birth to something new. So we could be speaking about babies, but we could also be speaking about creative ideas, welcoming something new, giving birth to something new. All right. This chakra is, in essence, the energy center within you that is saying constantly yes to life. It's the part of you that wants to experience the joy of being alive, and it wants to have experienced the joy and obviously run away from pain or anything else that is not in alignment with joy. Okay. Now, when it comes time to just dealing with the physical aspect of the chakra, things that you could do that will help you heal it just at the basic physical level would be number one, movement. Okay. As we grow, as we age, one of the things that is very, very typical in our society, in our culture, is we become more rigid. Right? We become more sedentary. We stop exercising, walking, moving around. We spend a lot more time sitting down in front of our computers or on our television. So moving your body is not only excellent and wonderful for the heart and for the entire cardiovascular system, but it also energizes your sacral chakra. Notice that it is also there in the sacral chakra where you have the hips, right? You have obviously the sexual organs, primarily the women's sexual organs, because believe it or not, men's sexual organ, the penis and the scrotum, actually belong more to the root chakra because they're hanging out outside of the sacral chakra. It's one of the reasons. In a little bit, when we talk about intimacy, you'll understand why. Then it's easier for a man to have sex without intimacy, where for women it's a lot harder. Primarily because the reproductive organs of women are actually fully centered in the sacral chakra, where for men they're more in the root chakra. They have to do more with survival and being grounded. All right, so anything that you could do to move your body, and something as simple as what my friend Mary Rinaldi likes, or she mentioned a couple of weeks ago when we were here in one of the comments. She loves to wake up every morning and put some music on and then just dance. So putting some music on, moving your hip, moving your legs, anything that will bring some focus, energy, movement to the sacral chakra will help you heal that chakra. Any practice that you do that will help you do that. Water is the element that is embodied or represented in this chakra. And again, the center of flow. So water represents flow and movement. Water is in constant flow and movement. So taking salt bath with Epsom salts, some aromatherapy, right? Or taking long showers if you don't have a bath. As you imagine the water flowing down through your body and cleansing the sacral area of your body can also bring a tremendous amount of healing. It's some of my best creative ideas or most important decisions I've ever made in my life actually happen under the shower or taking a bath. Why is that? Well, because the flow of the water cleanses that chakra, and then it allows the energy to flow, and then out of that there's a sense of greater creativity. So then you're more open to or receptive to new ideas, new insights. Okay, remember, it's also the chakra that represents creativity. So being in the water, taking a long bath, meditating in the water, taking long showers, and then just allowing the water to just cleanse you can also help you heal the physical aspect of this chakra. Physical touch. Remember that this is also the chakra that governs sensuality and everything that we can perceive through our senses. So smells, taste, touch. So touching yourself, touching others, allowing yourself to be hugging others. And yes, touching yourself, pleasuring yourself, touching your body, touching your sexual organs, pleasuring yourself. Something that has been demonized for many of us here in the Western world. Empowers that chakra, activates that chakra, brings greater harmony to that chakra. And it could be simply just you, for example, caressing your face when you're alone, touching your skin, touching your legs, touching your intimate parts, just feeling your body, okay? Each time that you're doing that, you are stimulating your brain. Primarily your right brain. You are not only bringing a deeper sense of joy, but you're increasing your connection with your body as a result. Sense of feeling alive brings you more also connected to the present moment whenever you do that. So touch, being touched and touching somebody else, even if it's just like just shaking somebody's hand. Okay, something as simple as that can stimulate and bring some healing to that chakra. And touch can be so incredibly healing. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the story of the two little baby twins. This happened like during the 90s, and is a story that is commonly talked about from the heart coherence perspective. But it's two little babies. Basically, they were both born prematurely, and so the two little girls, twin girls, that were separated, each one put in a different incubator. And one of them, their heart was failing. Okay, one was born like really strong, had a very strong heart, but the second one had a very weak heart, and she was failing, and the doctors were doing everything that they could to resuscitate it, and it seemed like she was not going to make it. And then a nurse that happened to be there at the time, and she was very concerned. She didn't want the other little girl to die, obviously. She, against hospital protocol, she just said, well, I don't want this baby to be alone. She's been with her sister this whole time. So she actually put her in the incubator next to her little sister. And the little sister instinctively just put an arm over her little sister that was not doing very well. And then just that connection, that touch, and then obviously the sensation of the heartbeat caused to miraculously for the other little girl that was sick, that was not doing very well, to begin to recuperate, and her heart began to beat at the same rhythm of her sister's heartbeat, and she became stronger. And within a few hours, she was completely back to normal. And everybody was at the hospital was like, this is a miracle. Well, it's the miracle of touch, and it's the miracle, obviously, of the power of the human heart. That's what we were experiencing. So touch, really, really, really important. Go out and get a massage. Treat yourself to a massage. Give somebody a massage, because when you give somebody a massage, you're getting one as well. Okay. And then finally, the fourth thing that you could do from a physical perspective to bring some healing into this chakra is to eat foods that your body truly desires and make you feel good. Foods that bring you joy to eat. Foods that when you put them into your mouth, you kind of go like, oh my God, this is delicious. Okay. So foods that nurture you, make you feel alive, that stimulate the senses, okay, will also activate this chakra. So those are the things that we can do. Now, this chakra also governs intimacy and connection in conjunction with the heart. When you fall in love, when we fall in love, the sacral chakra, the heart, and the throat chakra, all these three chakras, they open up. Okay, they open up. They're ready to give and receive love, and intimacy arises out of this sense of openness, right? Into me you see. So as a result of the opening of these chakras, I'm willing to let somebody into this personal, intimate space. I'm able to share my feelings, right? So that's where the opening of the throat chakra also happening. And of course, after a few weeks of this sensation of opening, it's very natural for the chakras now to return to a much more balanced way. And so the sense of falling in love wears off. Okay, so it's very much involved when it comes to intimacy. Think of it as the energy center, the ones to really connect and be intimate and let others in. Now, when there's trauma, early childhood trauma, where there is wounding, when there's imbalances, then in the sacral chakra, what you're going to find then is completely the opposite of what this chakra is about. So if this is the chakra that governs movement, flexibility, flow, right? Intimacy, joy, creativity. Well, when there's an imbalance in this chakra, the opposite begins to happen. There is restriction of movement, right? You feel very rigid. There is no flexibility. Even people become very inflexible. You get a sense like life is not flowing anymore. Things are not flowing. Everything is like, it's so hard to get done and to accomplish. Okay, you get also a sense that there is no intimacy, no connection with other people. You don't want to let other people in. You don't want to also come into other people's space. You don't want to give. You don't want to receive. And normally, again, as I said earlier, a lot of this imbalances results from early childhood trauma, especially anywhere between 5 to 8 to about 10 years old. Okay, where we open ourselves up to somebody. We wanted to love them. We wanted to feel connected to them. We want to explore touching, being touched, right? Giving, receiving. And maybe they did something that hurt you, made you feel betrayed. It triggered something in you. And then therefore your nervous system, which, remember, your nervous system is also part of your chakra system, because it is the energy, the electricity moves through the nerves. And so one of the things that your nervous system did, then it closed those energy centers in order to protect you. So signs of being, for example, very rigid in a relationship, like it's got to be this way or my way or the highway, or you become very controlling, manipulative. Okay. Sense of like always struggling the relationship, struggling opening to another person, letting them really see inside of you. Okay. They're all signs or symptoms that at the level of your sacral chakra, there's an imbalance, there's a wound, there is energy that is just not flowing. Okay. So beginning by doing some of these physical things that I just recommended, movement with music, water, right? Taking a long bath, and even spending time in large bodies of water as well, and allowing yourself to feel the water flowing through you, cleansing you. Food, touch can bring a tremendous amount of healing to this area. Okay, now why is it so important, especially the touch? I would say out of all of these, touch is probably the most important one. And why is that when it comes to healing? Well, because the majority of us, we were wounded while being in a relationship with somebody. When we wanted to explore our physicality, we wanted to give pleasure, receive pleasure, or we just simply opened up these energetic centers to welcome somebody in, right? And we were betrayed by them, or we were hurt by them, or abandoned by them, or they lied to us, or whatever. There was something that caused us pain. And as a result, we blocked that center. One of the things that I do in my Path of the Heart seminars, for example, and I know a couple of you who are here who participated in that experience, I teach people to how to do what Dr. Phil calls PP to PP hug. All right. When most people hug, is like they come together and they just do what I call a granny hug. Is like they just hug and kind of like our shoulders and our chest touch, but everybody just kind of like pushes their pelvis out, and it's like, no, my private parts cannot touch your part. I only do that with a special one, the one that I'm supposed to be with, that I don't know where they are. All right. And so you want to literally hug another person where all your chakras literally come together. All right. And so at the beginning, if we're not used to it, it's going to be very uncomfortable. And that's one of the things that people experience when we do this in the Path of the Heart seminars. At the very beginning, all your insecurities come up, right? Because the last time you gave yourself permission to let somebody into that space, it was either because you're going to have sex, so you have associated intimacy with sex, which intimacy has nothing to do with sex. I could go there off a tangent. That's why I made this pause. All right. But the idea is that it is by allowing somebody into that personal space and allowing myself to feel the discomfort, to feel the closing or the desire to close it. But at the same time, I surrender that need to protect myself. It is by doing that, by facing that fear, but bringing myself into that same position, but this time look at it as an adult who wants to heal, who wants to open up. That is what begins to allow the process to take place. And one of the things that I've seen happen in the seminars when we do this is that at the very beginning, obviously everybody's very guarded and skeptical and afraid and feeling very insecure. But as a result of this, there's a deeper sense of connection and intimacy. And then people just want to hug all the time. Even the person that did not want to hug or let somebody else into that kind of space, later on, they're like hanging out, holding hands, cuddling each other. And you go like, are you the same person that a few days ago, like did not even want to be touched? And now you're like cuddling all this time with this person? Well, that's what we do. That's what we do. Another thing that we do, just to share some of how this healing takes place in some of these seminars, we created conditions where we can have one person come and rest their head on your heart, so that they can listen to your heart, and you can hold them in essence like a little baby and offer them your heart. Tremendous amount of healing happens when you offer your heart in that way. Tremendous amount of healing happens when a person hears the beating heart of another person and allows that heart to communicate in the language of the heart. Okay, a lot of tears come out, a lot of healing takes place. For many of us, the last time we heard a heartbeat like that was when we were tiny little babies and we could hear our mother's heartbeat. And so it brings again the touch, movement, things that help you heal the heart. But again, it's because of the strong connection that the heart has with the sacral chakra. All right, the connection, the intimacy is initiated at the level of the sacral chakra and blossoms in the heart. Blossoms in the heart. All right, so 34 minutes have already passed. Can you believe it? Where has time gone? Hello, PJ. Welcome. Hello, Geraldine. She's also in a hot land. Hello, Linda. Linda Luz. Oh my God, is that your real name or is that a made-up name? Linda Luz. In case you don't know what it means beautiful light. Wonderful. All right, so let's move in and now into the experiential part, okay? And remember, if you want to do the healing, the physical work, the healing work that is the physical part, movement, touch, foods, and water, okay? Just like with the sacral chakra, the biggest thing you can do to heal it is spend time in nature, barefoot, really grounding yourself into Mother Earth and allowing yourself to receive the nurturing, loving, supportive energy of the mother. All right, so before we do the guided meditation, I want to share an image with you, because it's an image that I'm going to invite you to evoke it or bring it into your mind's eye. And it's the image of a water wheel. You guys know what a water wheel is? Y'all know what a water wheel is? All right, so I managed to pull out a picture of one in China, I believe. Is this all wheels that were used to power some mechanical instruments and even to generate some electricity, right? That are submerged partly in the water, and then as the river flows through them, it makes the wheel spin, okay? And so I'm going to invite you at some point during our guided meditation to imagine that right there where the sacral chakra is, there's one of these water wheels. It's being powered by the water, okay? Powered by the water. Remember that as we move then into the solar plexus, then we will be powered by the fire of the belly, all right? But right now, what's powering this chakra is the water. Okay, the waters then that flow later on into the heart. All right, let us begin. As we make the shift now towards the experiential part of our time together, I invite you to find the most comfortable position you can find right now where you are. As you gently close your eyes, ensuring that your body is nice and open, your legs and your arms are uncrossed so that you're open and receptive. As you bring your attention to the middle of your chest, your heart chakra, and begin to breathe straight in and out of the heart, as if there was a little mouth in the heart and your heart could just go breathing straight in and out of the heart. Breathing nice and slow, deep and evenly. Setting the intention to open our hearts and allow the energy from the heart to flow down into the belly and then down into our sacral chakra. Imagine for a moment that inside the heart there's a waterfall, and the waterfall falls down from the heart down through your belly and then down into your sacral chakra. And then right there where your sacral chakra is, there is a water wheel like the one I shared with you just a few moments ago. And this water wheel is just spinning with the water that is flowing down the stream with this beautiful waterfall emanating from your heart. As you continue to breathe in and out of the heart and the water flowing down through your heart into the sacral chakra and the wheel spinning around, allow me to speak the following prayer on your behalf. In the name of the Father, the Mother, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. I call to the sacred waters from the heart of God to flow into the hearts of every person here today in this live call or watching the replay, that our hearts may be a center of the Holy Spirit's holy waters. May this water flow from our hearts now down into our sacral chakras, our divine centers of flow, creativity, joy, intimacy, and connection. Restoring the energetic blueprint of this sacred energy center within us. Declaring this the sacred place where the divine energies of love and joy reside. Where God, Mother, and Father live supremely, undivided within us. May these healing waters, straight from the heart of God, cleanse, restore, harmonize, and purify this energy center. Allowing this wheel now to move with flow, with ease, with joy, in a way that is perfect and ideal for every single person here today. And as I do this, on behalf of everyone present here today, I declare my sacral chakra is the center of God's divinity. My sexuality is a gift from God. My sensuality is my divine right. Joyously, I feel alive, and I am a center of God's creativity, God's movement, God's flow flowing through me, flowing as me. I am a center of divine creativity and self-expression. I am a center of God's purity and joy. I am God's divinity, restoring, harmonizing my sacral chakra. I am the waters of the living God flowing through me with joy. Now see and imagine that to the left side of this water wheel, there's a masculine figure, like one of those professional dancers or ballet dancers or one of those professional skaters. This is your masculine version of you that represents your divine masculine principle. See, feel his strength, his determination, his clarity, his sensuality. As you declare inwardly, I am divine masculinity within me. For both the divine masculine and feminine live within you. Now see, feel, and imagine that to the right side of this water wheel, there's a feminine figure, the divine counterpart, the dance partner, the skating partner that represents the female. She's flexible, she's beautiful, gracious, playful, inviting, sensitive. And secretly and silently declare and affirm, I am divine femininity within me. In your mind's eye now, allow these two lovers, partners, to come together into a divine dance within the waters, under this waterfall, within this gentle flow of life force energy that is flowing from your heart. They move with grace, with joy, each one complementing the other, each one strengthening the other. There's movement, there's grace, there's flow, there's joy. As the male and the female within you dance, the dance of union and joy, the dance of intimacy with safety. With flow. And now see yourself approaching them. Getting close to them and embracing both of them. Recognizing them. Recognizing yourself in them. Embracing them. Touching them, feeling them, caressing them. Bringing them now into your hearts of hearts. Unifying yourself with them. Becoming one with them in your heart. As the water from your heart overflows down to your sacral chakra, washing away all wounds, all fears, all blocks, restoring the divine flow of creativity, intimacy, connection. Restoring the divine purity within you. Allowing these two lovers within you to continue now to dance their eternal dance of joy within your heart. As the water wheel turns and turns and turns with its infinite flow. I am in divine harmony and flow. I am divine creativity and joy. I am divine creative solutions shown to me. I am sacred living waters flowing through me. I am God's sacred water flowing through my family and friends. I am God's sacred waters flowing through eternity. Gracefully, I let it be. And so it is, and it is so. Amen. Ajo. Between now and next week, set aside, some special appointments with yourself to move your body in a way that makes you feel alive and feels good. To spend time in a body of water or under the shower, on the bathtub, doing things that bring pleasure and joy to your senses. Get someone to give you a massage. Trade massages with somebody. Cook a delicious meal with some of your favorite things that stimulate your palate and makes you go, oh my God, this is so good. All those things. Plus a few little extra hugs here and there. Asking for a hug when you need one. Giving a hug when you need one. Because when you give a hug, you get one too. So if you don't want to sound too needy, you can just simply say to the other person, can I give you a hug? You look like you need a hug, even though it's you who needs the hug. You can do that. I've done that. All right, my beautiful invisible friends, we've come to the end of our time together. It certainly flies when we're having fun, huh? Yeah, sign, unquestionably, that your sacral chakra is healing. As you become more joyful, there's more energy flowing through your spine. Remember, the sacred energy of life, the living waters of Christ within you are flowing. And so there's more joy, there's more life, there's more creativity. There's a sense of flow that comes, like you feel like your life is in flow. The right things are happening. And it all comes as a result of your willingness. Yeah. To come back into the flow. Be loving and gentle with yourself as you do this work. Some negative emotions rise up to the surface, and all memory rises up. Just offer your heart to everything that shows up. Just offer your heart. Take the memory into your heart and allow these memories to be washed down by the waterfall emanating from your heart. Let it just all flow. It's in the past. It's in the past. You survived it. You're here. Okay, yes. Maybe it made you rigid. Maybe it made you controlling. Maybe it made you all these different things. But it's in the past. You made it through. You can just now open yourself. Give yourself permission to love and be loved. Connect and feel your connection. Touch yourself. Give yourself pleasure. Do what makes you feel good. There's nothing sinful about our human bodies. They were designed and created by our Creator out of love so that we could experience life. So we could experience the joy of our sexuality, our human connection, so we could experience the full rainbow of emotions and what it means to be human. There's nothing evil, dark, sinful about our sexuality or even about our nature. You were made and created in the image and the likeness of God. Nothing, no one can change that. Restoring your sacral chakra to the sense of purity of a child, touching yourself with the innocence of a 2-year-old, experiencing the pleasure and the joy of being alive can sometimes be one of the most profound, most loving things you can do for yourself. All right, my beautiful friends, I hope you're walking away feeling more connected to your bodies, to your heart. Thank you, Irish. Hugs. Yeah, you owe me an hug, Irish. I'm looking forward, once all the traveling resumes again, to give you a hug in real life. Same thing with you, Mary. Mary gives really wonderful hugs. Oh my God, amazing hugs. Isabel says this was a really beautiful experience. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Thank you, Isabel. Appreciate you being here. Thank you, Deborah, Leela, Tony, Geraldine, Cindy, Linda Luz, beautiful light. Sue, hello. Ellen, Mariette. Mariette gives very nice hugs too. She gives you an Afrikaans hug. Hey, Maggie, PJ, and everybody else. Denise. 3 devil women. Okay. I'm glad you could be with us today. Veronica. Wanda. Roger. Thank you, everybody, for being here with me today. Okay, we'll continue then next week. Okay, when we will be focusing then on more on the emotional, spiritual aspect of bringing some healing into this chakra, which will inevitably involve some forgiveness work. Okay, releasing and letting go of the old. Until the next time, please take care of yourself. And as always, I send you all my love from my heart to yours. Bye bye for now.